Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and in sincerity. And this lesson will be entitled, The Book of the Living is Only for the Living. What you are witnessing is the Holy Bible, 1611 edition, King James Version. And this book is also identified as the Book of the Living. Lord, will you are edified. Psalm 40:7. Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. This is King David speaking in the spirit, and he's saying that Yahushua comes in the volume of the book, which consists of the Old Testament, the Apocrypha, and the New Testament. When you examine volume, in the Hebrew, it means total. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord Yahweh, also known as what? The book of the living. Let's prove that. Let them be blotted out of the book of the living. Meaning what? The Holy Scriptures. And not be written with the righteous. The righteous also can be identified as who? The living. And only the living can understand the book of the living. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. Okay, so seek ye out of the book of the Lord Yahweh and read. No one of these shall fail, meaning what? These prophecies will come to pass. None shall want her mate. Why? Because this is the only living book, which was inspired by what? The Spirit of the Most High. For my mouth it have commanded. Whose mouth? Yahweh's mouth. And his spirit it have gathered them. Gathered who? The elect of Israel. Also identified as who? The living. The man that wander out of the way of understanding, meaning what? A person that was enlightened by this truth, and later the Most High stripped his spirit from this person, shall remain in the congregation of the dead. Right. Spiritually dead. But your flesh is alive. So if the Most High takes his spirit away from a person, that person is considered dead. He is not among the living, and therefore he cannot understand the scriptures anymore. John 7:38. He that believe on me, and this is Yahushua speaking, as the scripture hath said, the book of the living, out of his belly, mind, shall flow rivers of living water, meaning what? More wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High. And therefore, you will continue to understand the book of the living. Yahushua answered and said unto her, this heathen woman, if you knew the gift of the Most High, and who it is that said to you, give me to drink, you would have asked of him, and he would have given you living water. Meaning what? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The woman said unto him, Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From where then have you that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well and drank thereof himself and his children and his cattle? Yahushua answered and said unto her, Whosoever drink of this water shall thirst again. Meaning what? That physical water that was inside of that well. Verse 14, but whosoever drink of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, that living water. And once you receive that living water, you are born again, and therefore you are out of the congregation of the dead. You are spiritually alive. You have been quickened, and therefore you understand the book of the living. See, 2/3 of our people are spiritually dead. And that's why they read the scripture or the scriptures and have no understanding. But whosoever drink of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst, but the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. Right. So we as prophets must continue to fulfill our lot as being prophets. And this road leads to what? Salvation. And salvation brings what? Everlasting life. Ephesians 2:1. And you have he quickeneth, made alive, spiritually alive. Now you are classified as the living, who were dead in trespasses and sins. And that's literal. Jeremiah 2:13. For my people, Israelites, so-called Negroes, so-called Native Americans, so-called Hispanics, and you so-called Israelite foreigners who on your father's side as well, goes back to who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You are the 12 tribes of Israel. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters. Right. This doctrine is classified as the fountain of living waters, the Holy Scriptures, the book of the living. And hewn them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. So our people bypass the Scriptures and go what? To these other philosophies, which brings them what? An evil mindset, and they add sin upon sin. Lord will you are, or Salakia, Lord will you were edified. Shalom.